then. Anyway, we're going to move on here. So we're going to start off here talking about gearing up. So you hit level 100, and most of you, would have hit level 100 in the ground. You've been doing questing there. Hopefully you guys have been leveling, through the regular process here, starting in Shadowmoon Valley. Not stupid. I mean, who levels here? Who actually levels in Frostfire Ridge? Nobody. Only nobody's level there. So Shadowmoon Valley, onto Gorkrund. Once you guys are leveling, and if you guys are continuing to level right now, make sure you guys get the bonus objective. So you see I missed a lot of bonus objectives here in Gorkrund. There's a crap ton, and it is a shit ton of extra experience for you guys. It makes it a lot easier to level. By Nagrand, I was running out of quests. So do your bonus objectives. Do Gorkrund. Especially in Gorkrund, yeah.
There until
you finish everything, and I'm really kicking myself for not doing it because I had a harder time or a longer time leveling than without it.
I didn't. I had a fine time because I finished them.
Thanks, Trias. Thanks a lot. Talador, again, same kind of stuff here. There's lots of garrison stuff, and one thing I'm going to mention here on stream, for those of you watching, this add-on is fantastic. Again, I'm kicking myself for not using it earlier. While you're leveling, this shows you all, potential treasures nearby, potential rares you can kill, what items they drop. This one drops some kind of 516 agility, it's a male chest piece. This one drops gloves, agility, intellect, male gloves. All the little garrison resources, all those little things that you're doing, make sure you pick them up on the way while you guys are leveling. So it is a fantastic add-on. It's called Handy Notes. Plus, you need the Handy Notes Draenor Treasure plugin. Highly recommend it. Get it. There's a couple issues with it, but it is, for the most part, I'd give it a good 8 or 9 out of 10. It's amazing. Yeah, I know, I still haven't farmed all the garrison resources, but you know what? The downside of Handy Notes here is after you've gotten a garrison resource, and then you go there with Handy Notes, after you've installed it, it still shows as a resource there. So, I've gotten some of these resources, but they still show as active, for example. Yeah, it's still going to show as active because I got it after I hit level 100. So there's a couple issues there. Now, leveling. You've gotten to level 100, and you want to raid, right? But you can't, because your item level sucks. And item level is everything, right? Everybody thinks item level is everything. Yes and no. I mean, to get geared up, you do need a decent item level. Now, depending on how much raiding you did back in, Mythic Siege of Orgrimmar, you might have an easier time or a more difficult time. Hopefully, you guys have some kind of heirloom, where my heirlooms. So I've got my 200 heirloom here, which is actually a 620 item. So your heirlooms did level with you as you got to level 100. I have both a mace and a two-hander and whatever you want to use. Now, some of the gear is pretty nice. I mean, I had a lot of 588 gear when I was leveling, and that helped me really to level 100. So we'll talk about the different ways of leveling. Hopefully, I mean, as you guys are building your garrisons, again, we had a whole garrison chat a little while ago for the first day of the game, and what really good path to take. Now we'll talk about garrisons really quick before we level and why these buildings are awesome. So I recommended to you guys. I mean, people want to go stables, people want to go barn. Again, my stream is catered towards the average raider, not the average pet battler or the average mount farmer or whatever. So, you start off with your barracks here, right? You start off with your barracks and some kind of medium building and a small building. So, what do you build as a medium building? Well, lumber mill's pretty solid. It's a solid choice. Really, trading post is the better choice initially because it gives you more garrison resources. So in terms of large buildings, yeah, barracks are great because you get patrol missions. And patrol missions, once you get 50 of them, and I just got it recently here, patrol missions allow you to have 5 more followers. And the more followers you have, the more missions you can go on, the better. I mean, the more gold you get, the more gear you get, the more followers, that kind of stuff. So barracks leveling them is pretty important. So, barracks is a great choice. It's also default. Like, you don't have to tear it down and rebuild something else, so keep your barracks there. Number 2, I had my lumber mill first. So lumber mill allows you to chop down trees, go chop, be a Canadian lumberjack, and then you get garrison resources out of that. So garrison resources, guys, are the big sort of block and hurdle when you guys are building stuff. Like even now, having 2 buildings that are constantly generating me a lot of resources, I still don't have enough. Like I want to upgrade my barracks to level 3 now. I don't have enough resources. Right? I have 878. I can upgrade these things, but I'm not going to waste them because I need barracks number 3. So I can get 5 more followers, or a higher cap. So at level 3, I'm able to have a higher follower limit. So my followers are right here. And so I mean, most of them are on missions right now. But I want 5 more. I want 5 more, level 100 followers and get them geared up. Now, in terms of small buildings, number 1, salvage yard, you guys should be getting. At level 100, once you get your bigger garrison, make sure you have a salvage yard, bottom line. Or even, your level 2 garrison is totally fine. Your other two buildings should be profession buildings. I mean, ideally the professions that you guys are, and hopefully they're, crafting professions, not gathering professions, because gathering professions got, shat on so much. Mining is next to useless this expansion. Herbalism is not, is okay. Not much better, though, than mining. Work orders is the biggest hurdle? I would say, garrison resources, right? Like, how you get them is the biggest hurdle. Work orders are not bad. One thing I strongly encourage you guys not to ever get is a storehouse. Storehouse is the laziest possible building you can get. Yeah, it's awesome. You get a bank, you get a transmog person, a void storage. That's awesome. And, more work orders. It doesn't speed up your work orders. It just increases the amount. So each work order is a 4-hour block. You cannot speed up that 4-hour block no matter how much you try. No matter how much you yell at your peons to work harder and work faster, they will not. So it gives you more potential peons, a bigger assembly line to work with. It's useless. Unless you're on your 4th alt, like I know Central is, then don't bother with the storehouse ever, please. Focus on the salvage yard and your buildings. If you're leveling, you can often choose an enchanter's study here because it allows you to disenchant things, and Drainic dust is super, super expensive because you can't break down shards into dust like you could previous expansions.
Bullshit.
And the enchanters are, are kicking up a storm. Driaz is kicking up a storm like that, too. You have your mine here. I have my level 3 mine now. I'm, farming the crap out of the mine. My herb garden, I get free herbs. I don't need to be a miner or an herbalist for either of these things. And my mine feeds my forge, which feeds me gear. My herb garden feeds me stuff, herbs, which give me flasks, and that kind of stuff. So, that's my general thing here. I haven't battled pet battles or fishing shack because it doesn't help me. Trading post, again, why is it better? Well, you do trade 5 of a random resource. And let's go over to the trading post here. You do trade 5 of a random resource for 30 garrison resources. And it's better initially. Yes, the things that it wants are fairly cheap in general. So let's go to my trading post here really quick. So what do you want? So he wants Talador orchids. That's fine. I'm going to give you 5 more work orders. There. So now I have work orders churning out, giving me 30 garrison resources every 4 hours, right? Where is it? Trading post. Yeah, so in 2 hours 49 minutes, I'll have another 30 garrison resources. Now, the other advantage of having a trading post is this quest right here. There's an auction bot. If you put together its little modules, you can get your own little auctioneer. You don't need to be an engineer, like you did in previous expansions, to have a little auction bot in your trading post, which is awesome. And, if you're so inclined and you need certain things, you can trade in garrison resources for that fur, or for those starflowers, or for whatever. Not too bad it can't go the other way. Or for, what else? Gold, if you want. Whatever you want to trade them in for, if you're ever too capped out. Which is why trading post is ideal. Lumbermill level 3, though, is very nice. For those of you that will go lumbermill, once you guys go lumbermill, you get eventually through the quest line, you get a cool little... Dude, where is he now? He's hiding from me. Just in time. Where's this bastard? Anyway, there he is. So you get your own little Groot here. And Groot increases the work order by 50%, so it gives you 30 per 10 timber instead of 20. It looks like he's sort of stuck right now. So, again, your own Canadian lumber mill. Generate as many garrison resources as you can, guys, until, get your level 3 buildings. So I'm still waiting on resources for my level 3 barracks, and then this week I'll have a level 3 bunker as well. Bunker is, again, really awesome. Why? Well, the bunker allows me to send garrison resources to the bunker in order to upgrade my followers. In order to have better follower missions, you need to gear them up. So let's see what I have in this work order right now. And in this one I have... Oh, that's some decent stuff. So I got 11 Apexis crystals, I got a weapon enhancement, and an armor enhancement. There's the weapon one here, and an armor one here. So I got 2 upgrades out of that one work order. I guess it was a couple of work orders there. And that kind of stuff, you upgrade your followers. So when I go to my followers here, I know it's sort of a bit of a tangent here. I'm going to go to leveling here, but I want to show you quickly how to gear up your followers. So we'll go to a follower like, yeah, you finished your mission. Good, good, good. That's fine. Good job, Luke. Good job. Good job, Luke. Okay. So you go to your followers. Let's say I want to upgrade Meatball. Meatball, awesome. He has 0 armor right now. And one thing you do want is something like this. A Blackrock armor set. It allows me to upgrade directly to 630. Whereas if I use something like this, it gives, 3 item levels. And then 3 more. But if I used a 630 piece on top of that, it would replace all those other things. So, let's give him... There. He has a 630 piece now. I can always, throw some more weapons and throw some more armor on him. Why don't we... Let me see here. 615. Let's throw some armor on this dude. And who else can we throw some armor on? Who else needs it? He could use some more armor. Leroy Jenkins. Of course he could. There we go. So with higher level followers, you get better missions. Okay. Let me go... My salvage is giving me more follower upgrades than my bunker has. I heard there's a bit of an issue with level 3 salvage yards, Kinsada. I've been reading on the forums where people are getting, more like garbage, and they're getting, gear for themselves, but not enough follower upgrades, which is really the point of the salvage yard, which I'll be waiting on it. Okay, so leveling up. So again, hopefully you've got your garrison, in a working, smooth order, German efficiency or Japanese efficiency ratios. Hopefully, those of you that are from Germany or Japan, you guys know efficiency ratios, or the commies. Now, so one thing to get geared up, and one way to get geared up, is just finishing off the Nagrand storyline. The Nagrand storyline is awesome. It's amazing. There's great cinematics. There's the whole conclusion with Garrosh and Thrall and all that other stuff, and spoiler alert, Thrall dies. But yeah, finish off the quest line here, guys. There's a lot of great items that are upgrades you guys can get for yourselves, especially if you're really under-geared or you're new to the game or coming back. Finish off this entire zone. While you're doing it, there's a lot of these little treasures. I got this little neck right here. This 593 neck was from one of the treasures too. I mean, that could be an upgrade for a lot of you guys. Even if you did, Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic, this green item level thing is still an upgrade, and I got it from one of these treasures somewhere over here. So, number 1, finish off Nagrand. I mean, if you like questing, highly encourage you guys to do that. Now, one other thing you can do while you guys are in Nagrand, or once you're level 100, is farm these rares. These rares, if you guys can sort of see here, this one has a 601 item level axe. This one has resources. What else? This one has a 616 multi-strike trinket. Go see if the rare is up. If he's not, go somewhere else. There's a couple little add-ons, like for rare finders or whatever. You can use those as well to help you go back and forth between little things. What is a good way to get gold? Again, you can, farm stuff. Farm a lot of these things. You can do old raids. We can talk about that later on. Mystic skills. So, farm up these things, guys. Farm up the rares. There's rares in every zone. Not this one. There's rares in every zone. They'll give you more garrison resources, gold. A lot of these items are not upgrades, but Nagrand is the one where you guys want to go for sure to get those rare upgrades. And these ones over here, like the blue rares. Now, the blue rares are in every zone. So even over here, this one, for example, has a 620 agility intellect leather boots, but you probably need a group of people to kill these ones, especially if you're lower or less geared. You'll not be able to solo them. You will absolutely not. They are level 100 rare, very difficult to kill on your own. Very, very difficult, unless you're, a really cheesing class. Attention, ask me here in a little bit here. Midges is writing down all the questions you guys have. I will answer them as soon as I'm done my little segment here, Tension. So every question, like all the great questions here, Tension, gold questions, I will answer them all. Okay, so back to this stuff. So you're looking to, you hit level 100, looking to get more gear. One great thing you guys can do is go to Ashran. Ashran has 2. I mean, if you've done enough quests, you'll have enough faction for this. Go to Ashran, which is, you fly over to this bad boy over here. Now, in Ashran, there are 2 615 item level trinkets, which will help you significantly. If you go to Storm Shield, and if you're Alliance, it is in this building right here. There's a big quartermaster and stuff. There's a bunch of quartermasters inside, really. They sell followers, they sell banners and potions, that kind of stuff. And they do sell level 615 item level trinkets. I don't have any on me right now. I think I did until I replaced them with my with my new gear here. But they are 16 trinkets. They do help boost your item level. And of course, they're better than probably what you had in the past. Do use those trinkets, or at least buy them for the item level specifically. So, use those trinkets, number one. Where are they again? Go to Ashran, fly over to Ashran, use your little griffin. In Storm Shield, in this blue building right here on the left side. And then in Mud Hutville, I really don't know. I'm guessing it's like this big building right here. Or this other big one. Wherever the quartermasters are for you hordes, wherever your mud huts are. So, once you've done those things, next thing you can do, there will be a big elemental around here. Is he around here right now? Probably not. That's a bloop. At level 98, you guys can start the Legendary Quest line. Now, Legendary Quest line is awesome. Like, it is absolutely awesome. You get a great 680 ring out of it if you do a couple heroic dungeons, but you don't need to actually complete any heroic dungeons in order to get the 640 ring. It's really cool. I'm going to link you guys, I'll show you guys here the quest line. Let me link it. And there's a picture of this on our forums. There. So this Legendary Ring Guide, right here. Start at level 98. Go to the tower. You have to do one dungeon. And I mean, to do a normal dungeon, super easy. You queue up for it with your friends. Queue up for it with people here in stream, and it's really easy to do. Once you complete Skyreach on normal or heroic, well, you're at a level solo. You can't do heroic anyway, so just do Skyreach. Might even get some upgrades out of that because Skyreach does drop 600 item level things. You go to Skyreach, finish it, loot that stuff, go back to Khadgar, and get yourself a 640 ring. Huge upgrade for anybody, and you haven't done a single heroic yet. So, here's the link for that, guys, for those of you looking to get it. Will the raid item drop in LFR versions? I'm not sure, Rocketen. I'm not sure. The stones he's asking, I'm not 100% sure. Potentially, I mean, hopefully. We'll see. I mean, at least on normal. I think at least on normal it'll drop. Will it drop on LFR? I'm not 100% sure, Rocketwin. But, yeah, you would assume so because you can get these stones, these Borogator stones, from work orders, from mining, from lumber mills, from whatever. So, potentially. Anyway, that's Legendary Quest line. Follow it, you get yourself a 640 ring, do Skyreach in the process as well. What can you do next? Well, you've done Skyreach, your item level is still too low. Let's say you're a 605 or something. You've got those trinkets, you got yourself a 640 ring, but you have some really low pieces. And I know it was in the same situation. Got to run a few normal dungeons. I know Tally did the same thing. We ran a few normal dungeons once we were item level. Now, the item level has been dropped from 600 to run the high level normals down to 595.
Oh, that's nice.
So, which is really great for alts and people and, doing whatever, people new to the game. So they did drop the item level down by 5, which makes it a little bit more accessible for people. Now, the normals aren't that bad. Again, they do drop 615 item level pieces, do a couple normals, and again, big change to the personal loot system. I'm not sure why people hated personal loot. It was awesome, and now they've upgraded even further. You are now guaranteed an item on the last boss if you run personal loot. If you choose not to run personal loot in your pre-made group, well, then the last boss drops 3 items, which, could be all the same or not. So run a few normal dungeons, get that stuff done. Once you've done your normal dungeons, next thing you want to do, let's say you're at a decent item level now, you are close to, let's say, 610 or so. Well, go back to your garrison or go back to your class trainer and you'll do Proving Grounds. Proving Grounds, go to your mission commander specialist right here, talk to this chick. Now, enter Proving Grounds. There is a quest at the start here to do Bronze Proving Grounds, I believe. Let me see here. Let's queue up. There we go. So we're going to go to Proving Grounds. Looks exactly the same as Miss Pandaria. Unfortunately, they didn't really put a lot of work into this one, but it does scale. I mean, you want to get to heroics, right? Yeah, you want to go right to heroics, but you have to do Proving Grounds first, guys. Proving Grounds are necessary for random queuing heroics. Even if you want to go into your, your amazing guild group, even if I want to do random heroics with my guild, I need to do Proving Grounds. So Proving Grounds are essential. And Proving Grounds you need to do for your specs. So let's say I'm a healer. I need to complete Silver Proving Grounds. So if I do Bronze, really easy. I get a weapon out of it, a 615 weapon, I believe. Then I need to do Silver. Silver is 8 waves. Once I complete Silver, I can now queue as a healer for my own, random groups. I can't queue as a DPS, though. So, if you want to queue as a DPS, you'll have to complete the DPS Proving Ground as well. And I have completed both. So I'm able to do, Gold Healer and Gold Damage. Well, I haven't started the tank one, obviously, because I don't have a tank spec, unfortunately. Okay, let's get out of here. There we go. They sell an open nice Granville Winter Ale today. What do we have? A Granville Lager? We had a Granville Lager today at her restaurant for lunch. So guys, do Proving Grounds. Proving Grounds does give you a weapon as well for those of you that are unlucky enough to not have an arrow. But do Proving Grounds. Again, they're essential. You need to do them, bottom line. Now, once you have the necessary Proving Grounds done, you can start doing heroics, and the amazing grind will start. For those of you that are really, really amazing players, and you don't need, you don't think you need that 610 item level, because 610 is the item level to start heroics. If you don't have it, you can't queue up for heroics. I mean, even with Proving Grounds. Now, there's some items. I can't remember if they still work. Can somebody correct me here if I'm wrong? But the honor items, the honor items in Ashran should work. You buy them through honor. But there's, in Ring of Trials, there's the old PvP gear here, or the whatever. Did you just link it in channel?
In Guild.
Oh, in Guild?
So it's 620 in PvE and 675 in PvP.
Is that the Ashran gear? Or is that the
you
Ring?
buy it with honor.
Yeah, so this is the honor gear. So Drea just linked it for me. It's 620 normally, and what's
75.
675 in PvP. Which is, it's great. It's got the same stats.
It doesn't have the PvP stats on it.
Yeah, it doesn't have any, resilience or whatever other garbage, PvP stuff. I'm not a PvPer at all, so I don't follow this stuff. But again, you buy these with honor. They patched it. So they patched the War Games gear, so you can't get the...
that's not what this is.
Yeah, this is the honor gear here. The War Games gear is 660 item level stuff just for War Games in the Ring of Trials. Okay, so you can't bypass it that way, but if you guys do a couple Battlegrounds, again, you get some gear out of that too. Very, very easily. Is it still working? The bugged items in Nagrand still work. It didn't work for me when I tried it. Maybe I did it the wrong way, but, either way, guys, do enough dungeons, do the legendary quest line, get those Ashran trinkets, and before you know it, a couple items, you'll be able to do it very easily. Now, next way to get geared up. You're doing heroics now? Well, you know what? Next big step of the legendary quest line is to do heroics. You need the Core of Flame from Bloodmaw Slag Mines, you need the Core of Iron from Grimrail Depot, and you need the Core of Life from Everbloom. You'll need to do those. You can do a specific queue for a dungeon. For whichever ones you guys need. Get those cores, turn them into Khadgar, then he sends you off to Auchindoun to kill Terran Gorefiend and get some essence or something. Which then will give you a couple little scenarios, a couple little quests that are really cool, really, really awesome to do. And eventually you will be granted the 680 ring. You can get it, again, for any kind of spec. So I have a one on my red spec as well as my main spec, my holy set. 680 item level. And then you start grinding the crap out of heroics, And one thing I do recommend here and I'll recommend this for challenge modes again, heroics can often suck. I think I've pugged a tank once this entire expansion so far. Because we didn't have any guild tanks online and nobody in stream here responded. So we pugged a tank, and tanks, people that are random aren't always that great. Let's be honest, guys. They're not as great as me and you. Because we're giving a shit, We care. We want to improve. We want to get better. But people in some LFRs or dungeons, they're just don't care. You know what? I just don't care. I want to tell everybody screw off here because I'm the tank and this is, my first rodeo. So I highly encourage you guys to make your own groups here through the stream. The stream is built with really awesome people, great players from, the top 30 players in the, top 30 US guilds, EU guilds, people from Blood Legion, to people, in Cobra Kai Dojo, which are still, somewhat decent players and human beings. Highly encourage you guys to, leave chat open or use our forums. Please use our forums to leave your battle tags and make groups that way. I've asked in stream chat here, I've asked, people that have me on Real ID still, hey, I need a tank or I need a healer or a DPS or whatever, and I encourage, my guildies, let's say, need somebody, so I'll send them over here to my stream for a second and get a decent play rather than plugging a player, right? It's so much easier for your own sanity, for building the community, for getting gear a lot more easily. And for those of you that have suffered through the Molten Core LFRs, for example, I'm never going to do an LFR Molten Core, never. We did one as a guild Friday night, hour and a bit clear, no wipes, super fun, super easy. We all had, a couple beers, scotches, whatever, and it was a crap ton of fun. Same thing tonight. And I think it's going to be a weekly event. I'm going to run Molten Core with you guys on stream. It'll be super smooth. If you fuck up, if you do stupid shit like, you try to troll my raid, I kick you out because I have no patience for morons. But if you make a mistake and you die, big deal, you learned, right? I mean, it's old school Molten Core. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. Just make sure you listen. How's healing going? Yeah. Having difficulties as well? It depends on the tanks I'll doing. Depends. So, Molten Core, we'll be doing that. And that's one of the ways to get geared up as well. So, Molten Core is great because it does give you a 640 helm at the very end. You kill Ragnaros. Usually you guys stick around through the Molten Core from start to finish, or you queue up, luckily enough, just for Ragnaros. And it will give you a 640 helm, guaranteed, along with this awesome mount. Now, we had a great... there's a highlight of my guild doing the wave.
You guys took a picture of it while I was offline.
Really?
Really pissed off.
Why didn't you say anything?
I did.
I don't remember you saying anything.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is the awesome Corehound mount here. It is pretty cool. It is pretty awesome. That is guaranteed if you complete the LFR. Guys, the LFR is open for 6 weeks. You have a crap ton of time to do it. I'll be doing it on my alt next week. This week, again, I'll be running a second one on my my main here on Sparty. And one thing you guys can get from Ragnos as well is a 10% chance for a small pet, little tiny hate spark, for those of you lucky enough to get it in our first run, or a 3% chance for a cruel transmog thing. Now, it's an item that imbues all of your items, or all of your weapons, in fire. Like Sulphurous, you know, it's sort of glowing fire. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, but you can run Ragnaros multiple times for that item. Do you need proportions before you boost? Yes and no. Yes and no. Will you do it for my EU viewer? It's kind of hard to plug it on this side of the seas. I'm hoping I have an EU character leveled by then, Toxie, but I'm not sure. Like, I honestly don't know. My priority here is leveling my main character, Sparty, and he's ready for Heroics, I mean, for Highmaul right now, at 637, 640. Then my alt, because I'll need them for alt and main runs. Then I plan on leveling the Horde character, and then I'll be leveling the EU character. So it's a lot of stuff to level. I'm hoping to get done. I might change the priority to my EU character first. I'm not sure. But the times that I stream often, they're not really conducive of EU times. Unless you guys are super awesome, dedicated people that are like 3, 4 a.m. in EU time right now, and they're still online for some reason. You guys can't sleep, so you watch Sparty stream and, you know, to learn something. Yeah. So, okay, back to gearing up here. Yeah. So the next thing you guys can do is... Now, if you've been leveling your followers, you know, if you've been following the Sparty School of Garrisons, you can get gear with your followers, your little minions. Now, if you set up your minions correctly, they will not fail you. People always fail me, but my followers won't if I send them on the right missions. There, good job. Good job, little minions. And you leveled, fantastic. And more minions, good. Fantastic. See, look, they're not failing me at all. Good job, good job. Okay, now you can get some cool items here too. So this is a level 100 item, sorry, 100 quest. You need 615 item level, as you can see here, for this mission in order to be successful. In order for it to be successful, I get a 630 weapon out of it for whatever spec I want. Well, I might actually do this because I could use a 630 two-handed sword. Here, this one only has a 100 item level requirement, but it is a 615 item. So your followers can get you missions. If I wanted this mission here, I would send somebody with Taunt. And unfortunately, nobody has... Oh, this is a different one. Yeah, so I would send in Admiral Taylor and maybe Leroy Jenkins and this. There you go, 87% chance. That's pretty decent. I can probably play with this a little bit more. Oh, that's who am I missing now? Yeah, one of my other followers. I could send my Rulcan or my Druid guy to make sure it's 100%. And in case I needed a neck piece, for example. So your followers can get you items. I mean, for those of you that are very casual, you want to level your alts very casually, you can do it through missions here. They'll get you gear, you know, you level them up slowly. It's playing your own, basically, your own little Facebook game where people bring you gear and gold and you level them up. So. You looked at the Garrison add-ons yet? I heard about a couple of Garrison add-ons. I haven't played around with them yet, Consada. But if you guys have really cool Garrison add-ons you want to recommend to me, I will definitely check them out and then, you know, share those recommendations. I heard of one on MMO, I can't remember what it was, to really sort out missions a little bit better. Make it mean super, super efficient and easy. But yeah, I mean, let me know. Post it on the forums here. Please post it on the forums so people can learn from you guys as well. use the in-game group finder for Molten Core at least, making sure you'll have the gear. Yeah. So how do you get for Molten Core? For Molten Core, again, you just go to Raid Finder, and it's the only LFR available right now. It is again available until January 5th or 6th, and then it's gone. So you have a long ass time to do it. Yeah, I'll use the document in big here. Okay, so followers. Now, for those of you that love grinds, for those of you that played EverQuest, for those of you that love, those agent-themed MMOs where they just grind the crap out of things, there are grinds for you here too. Apexis crystals. This currency right here. Now, with this currency, you need it partly for the legendary questline. You need 5,000 for it. At the same time, you can buy gear with this stuff. If you want to grind these out and go kill, mobs and grind all day long while you, listen to Sparta yapping or you listen to some Netflix in the background, do it. One of the best ways to farm them is in the pit somewhere around here. Where's this pit? The pit's somewhere around here, anyway. Right? Yeah. There's probably a big 40-man group in your, on your server, running around big circles in that pit, farming roughly about, 800 to 1,000 Apexis crystals per hour. Well, how many crystals do you need for the gear? 3,000 to 4,000 for a 630 piece, and about 13,000 or 12,000 or something like that for a 645 piece. So 645 is actually higher level than LFR by grinding stuff out. Now, that being said, though, you don't need to grind these things. There are Apexis dailies. I haven't done mine yet since I got back from work. This quest right here...
Don't do the one in the ground.
You get to choose one or the other. So, Warsong Raiders out in Watchpost. Don't do the one in the Grand?
No.
Why not?
Because it's just a really small area. There's not very many mobs. There's way too many fucking people.
Okay. Now, because it both give me 800 here, it doesn't really matter too much. I can choose whichever one is easiest. Some are more group ones, group-oriented dailies here, and they give you 1,000 Apexis crystals, which is awesome. Apexis crystals are a currency where you're able to buy gear, trade and stuff. You're also able to upgrade your Apexis gear as well. They're a currency for getting your Warforged coin here, or they're called really Seals of Tempered Fate now. You can buy your Seals of Tempered Fate through Apexis crystals solely if you wanted to. You can buy, just don't spend any garrison resources, gold, or whatever. Just get Seals of Tempered Fate through Apexis crystals. So, again, or Girlfriend. Yeah, here, Central did, 9 hours of it, and they said, fuck it. Yeah, I did 9 hours of Apexis farming. I can't do it, man. I can't. I would love to, probably, maybe a couple hours of it. I think I'd rather be fishing Central, honestly, than Apexis farming. I can't do it. Central, I commend you for doing 9 hours of it. But Central, I'm sure, will get, some kind of 645 piece out of it. I know I will. By the time Heimel comes out, I will easily have a 645 piece to show for doing my dailies every day. Where's the vendor? So Gauze, the vendor, again, is in Ashran here. The vendor is right here where my mouse is. So you guys get ported in, somewhere over here up top. You go down the path, and now the challenge mode daily is right here where my mouse is. Right over here, there's these 3 birds. There is a 630 bird, a 645 bird, and I think a 660 bird. And you need the previous piece in order to upgrade to the next one. You can't just go, I want to go get a 645 piece. No. You need the 630 first, then go to 645, and then eventually, once BlackRock's about to come out, they'll unlock the last one. So. No, she does not stream, unfortunately. Return TJ, she does not. She's too cool to stream. No. She's a great wrestler shaman. Yeah, she's awesome. But no, she does not. Okay, so back to doing these. Now, again, for those of you that are money bags, let's go see who moneybags are. Those of you that that follow Elvine's money-making schemes and that kind of stuff, I need to use them a lot more. For those of you that have gold, spend your gold on upgrades. You guys are raiders. You're supposed to put in as much effort as possible. You can spend that gold that you've earned, carrying people through Siege of Orgrimmar, selling your bodies or doing whatever, on upgrades. So let's go to Stormwind here. Let's look at the prices here on Stormwind, which is a pretty high pop server. If I go to Armor, choose here usable items, Epic, show me usable Epic items that are level 100, please. Thank you. So, there's belts for 70,000. Prices are dropping. They're a little bit high now still, but prices are still dropping, and they will continue to drop in the next week. I'm still looking for a ring here. These rings are a little bit too overpriced for my tasting. These rings are probably worth about 40,000 gold. That's the last sort of BOE I'm looking to get for myself. Yeah, I mean, these are just silly prices. I mean, if people are spending this much... I mean, if people have money, if you have millions of gold, sure, whatever you want. Some items here are going for 200,000 gold. I mean, depends on what kind of item you guys are going to get. These items likely may get replaced with high mall heroic gear. Not normal high mall gear, but heroic high mall gear, which is 670 item level. So it depends on what you get, and you need to do a little bit of research of what is good and what is not good for you. This is also potentially a BOE that I would use, but I mean, it's getting down there. 65,000, that's not bad. Not bad at all. So, for those of you that are money bags, like playing the auction house, buy your epics from here. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with buying runs. I mean, if you have gold, you earned gold, well, now spend that gold on something besides hookers and booze and whatever. So, Essential here says he got shoulders that are best in slot until tier token in the Blackrock Foundry for 70k. That's a steal. Now, that is a steal. For something that he will not replace until Blackrock Foundry comes out, which is what? March? Likely March when it comes out. That is a great steal. A huge investment. I mean, it's awesome. Very, very good. If only, I mean, I think he paid more for Dreadnought legs than he did for those shoulders. Now, the next thing to do for gearing up is crafted gear. Now, I should mention crafted gear as well as Dark Moon cards. Let's talk Dark Moon cards first. So, Dark Moon cards are your typical, your aces, your different, whatever the cards are called. Their Visions deck, the... Here, let's turn off sound because people are annoying. Let's put on Vision... There. So now these Visions cards, these ones I think are for the healer one. I can't remember. Anyway, so you pick up these cards, all 8 of them or whatever it is, to build yourself a deck. Are there any decks here? There's a... What the hell is this? I have no idea. So you basically get these whatever's of Visions. Let's see if there's an epic one here. Yeah, no, never mind. And you turn them in for a trinket. You don't need to wait for the Dark Moon Fair this time. You don't. You don't at all. Because, I mean, it allows you to do it right away. So, Midgets was awesome enough to help put together this Winged Hourglass for a 640 piece. Now, Dark Moon cards are potentially some of the best items you can get. They've always been overpowered. Every single expansion that you guys have had a Dark Moon card, they've been overpowered as hell. The 640 Helmrite, or the 640 Hourglass is almost equivalent to a mythic high mall trinket in terms of mana regen. It is that good. I will never have to replace this trinket if I'm looking to, keep my int and just go with mana regen. It has some of the highest mana regen in the game for a trinket, and you can upgrade it 2 times. So first to 655 and then to 670. I mean, it's a ton. I mean, it's a lot of money to upgrade it, but off the bat, for a 640 piece, yeah, I mean, it should be a 660 item, at the very least, for how powerful these Dark Moon cards are. For those of you that are casters, Riaz, how good is your...
Fucking beast.
So, hers is an
It depends on your class, though, because, like, for some people, they don't use crit, right?
Yeah, so she's a Shadow Priest, for example, which she really needs crit. For some classes, they're a beast of a trinket. For some, they're not that great. But again, going into raiding, you're sitting on 500,000 gold or 100,000 gold or whatever. What else you gotta spend money on? Like transmog stuff? Pets? Mounts? Come on. Are you raiders or pet collectors? Come on. Is it worth buying right now? Well, Holy Angel, I have one. I plan on using one for a long time. So yes, as a Holy Paladin, yeah, like they're incredible. There is I'll show you guys a really quick link here. Where's this? WoD.com. There's a great little link here of how good these healer trinkets are. Now this is thanks to Dell, one of our paladins here that's in Reckoning on Manaroth. Just a quick little aside here for how good these trinkets are. You guys can hopefully see this? Yeah, you can. Let me zoom in here a little bit more for you guys. Now, where is it? Okay, so the Winged Hourglass, what I have right now, 640, returns 60,000 mana over 10 minutes. Okay, the only comparable item, which would be Korag and Heimal, or either of these things, I'd have to replace it with a heroic Warforged or a mythic kind of trinket in order to replace it. That's how good it is. Once I upgrade the Winged Hourglass, 2 times to 665, it gives me back 75,000 mana over 10 minutes. Again, encounters don't last 10 minutes, but it's the highest regen at all. I mean, compared to, it's equivalent of a mythic 701 trinket. So it's 50 item levels too good. That's how good the trinket is. And now everybody's going to rush over to get their Winged Hourglass. It is amazing. For mana return, like, it's godly good. Like, it's incredibly, incredibly good, guys. Link to the document. I'm not going to link the document. I'm actually just going to link to you this, because I want people to start using our forums here, register, and, keep doing that kind of stuff. So, there you go. There's our Ashbringer forums. Again, Dark Moon cards, they're fantastic. Now, for those of you that are in guilds or have friends, trade cards. These things are the Pokemon, the Magic the Gathering cards. Trade them. Trade them as much as you can. We have a whole thread on our forums of, I've got a 8 of Visions. We're not really selling them because we're a guild, we're a family. Nobody cares about money. Like, somebody has a card that Driaz needs, they send it to Driaz. Driaz has cards that, Dead Man, one of our tanks needs, or one of our DPS needs. She just sends them off. Like, she's not going to ask, hey, but I want money for this. No, you're part of a guild. She sends stuff off. Midges is crafting decks for people. Whammo, I can't remember what else it was. People are crafting decks for all kinds of people, basically, because we want the guild to get geared up, and everybody needs to get these awesome-ass trinkets. So what's with the on attacks? So that is a bug, guys. It says, each time your attacks hit, you have a chance to gain whatever, 40 units of spirit. That is not the case. They hotfix that. That Blizzard's just being lazy. Let me throw down a couple of heals here. Give it a sec. There you go. See? Couple heals, and it does work. That is just a tooltip error. These healing trinkets do proc on heal. Okay, it is on heal, guys. So do ignore the on attacks garbage. Again. Yeah. I have a couple more spreadsheets like that. For those of you that are healers and looking for, what are best in stock kind of trinkets for raiding or for dungeons, I have a couple more spreadsheets. Ask me later for them. I can totally link them for you guys. You got me a trinket. Sorry, midges. I should have not said anything. Now, next thing you guys can do is crafted gear. Crafted gear, you can wear up to 3 pieces. Now, what is the best crafted gear? Well, there's a couple things to take into consideration here. Number 1, what piece still has a blue? So when Heimal rating comes out, what still has a blue, I will craft that piece. So let's say I have blue legs, for example. Going into Heimal, I could make, epic legs for myself. One of the best pieces for Holy Paladins is shoulders. Now, there's a couple of reasons why. And here, I already spent stuff on the shoulders. I'm not going to craft them yet because I don't need to. I may be, I may get an epic from challenge modes, which would really help me in that case. So, you can get crafted gear. You don't have to be that proficient to craft gear. I don't have to be a blacksmith to craft that kind of gear. You can get it all through, the garrison buildings themselves. Let me go back to my garrison here, where it's safe from trains. Yeah, I know, Chris. I know the DPS trinkets got nerfed. I know they did. Here's a nice gearing guide. That's confusing. Which one is this? Yeah, that's the one I actually have open right now, Freezing Hero. Yeah. Now, this here is, another gearing sort of spreadsheet. Now, this is really, for me, it was really confusing to really look at. This shows you item levels on the left side. You guys can't see my mouse right now. But on the left side, item levels, let me zoom in a little bit further. It shows you Apexis level 1, which is what we talked about, Apexis grinding. Weapons, level 1. This is crafted weapons, level 1. If I go to my crafting place, go really quick with my crafted place. You can craft yourself weapons to 630. And what was the last one? The last one was Heroic Dungeons, which all drop 630 pieces. Not super effective to always... Where's it? There we go. You can make yourselves, all these 200 weapons, or one-handed weapons, or whatever, or shields. Now, next level there is 640. 640 is your Elafar. 640 is your crafted stage 1. and then your challenge modes. So you can get challenge mode stuff, and we're talking about challenge modes here in a second. Challenge modes is all 640, same level as LFR. I have a couple of challenge mode pieces from doing challenge modes with my guildies and viewers. I've actually done challenge modes with viewers, and they were quite successful. Because, again, you guys are competent bunch of monkeys. You guys are the best monkeys I've ever seen. How do you have that much true steel? It's a secret parry. I have a bitch that gives me lots of true steel.
A bitch that gives you...
Nerzul's wife. She makes a lot of true steel. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so crafted gear. Now, crafted gear starts off at 630, so a 630, saber here, or 630 pauldrons like I already bought. With this item right here, this true steel essence, it upgrades something from 640 to 655. Sorry, I should have mentioned, they're 640 crafted pieces. Yeah, 640 to 655 with this item, or from... which one was it? Where's the next one? There. Or 655 to 665, which again takes more resources, but you can totally craft gear by yourselves eventually. It just takes a little bit to get them all. So crafted gear is totally available to you guys. You don't have to be the profession to craft stuff. I can be, let's say I can be a gatherer. I can be a miner and an herbalist and get blacksmithing gear crafted for me. It'll take you longer because you will not have the daily cooldowns, but you can totally get it crafted for yourselves as well. How do I upgrade pieces regarding the trinkets? So this is for all professions here, Holy Angel. Let's say I'm a blacksmith. There's a recipe that says this, True Steel Essence. Upgrades an item there from 640 to 655. This is only for blacksmithing pieces and only for armor pieces, not weapons. Weapons is this, yeah, 630 to 640. Yeah, so this is the weapons one, from 630 to 640. Okay, so each of the professions, inscription, which is really for your cards here, has an item just like this. I can't remember what it's called, so you can link it. But yeah, all of them, leatherworking, inscription, blacksmithing, engineering for the goggles. Please, I mean engineering goggles, you have molten core helm anyway. All of those are able to be made and upgraded. Now, with crafting though, you can only wear 3 crafted pieces at a time. You can't be like, hey, I'm going to craft myself a full set of gear. You can't. There's a limit of 3 pieces of crafted gear per character. So right now I'm not wearing anything that's crafted. Well, I guess I'm wearing this, that's crafted. You see it says there, unique equipped, warlords crafted 3. I can only wear 2 more pieces of crafted gear, that's it. So I'm going to wait until High Mold comes out, or right before High Mold comes out, and craft myself a couple pieces and upgrade them. Yeah, leveling up your profession allows you to craft more steel as well. Yeah, for sure. So one thing I did with alchemy here is I leveled alchemy to 700. Where are you? I guess I can't see it here. So I leveled alchemy to 700, which gives you more resources. Now, as you guys level your professions, you get more, what's it called? More catalysts. So here, I get 10 catalysts because it's awesome. Here, 1 out of 3. There. So I just made myself 10 catalysts, up for 10 flasks. And 6 trainer alchemy, that's already done. Perfect. Now on this side, though, I'm going to try using my crafted thing here. The level is 624. I mean, I guess I can't. I've already done it. So it gives me, 4+ additional based on blacksmithing skill. I believe at level 700 here, again, I'll have 10 ingots per day. Plus, stuff you craft, and plus my work orders here. Now, by assigning a follower, so Rulcan here, she's level 100. She gives me more work orders. So I got, 2? So it doubles my work order whenever I have a follower assigned. Normally you get 1 per work order. I get 2 because I have her assigned to it. Here I don't have an alchemist assigned right now, so it doesn't really matter too much. Can you make mail gear through leatherworking? I believe you can. I believe you can. It's mail, right? Pretty sure. Now, one really cool tip, and I'm pretty sure this is correct. What you guys can do, let's say you have, I don't know, what do I have here getting ready made? My herb garden. Okay. Let's say, I don't know, let's say the forge, okay? Now let's say I have something ready for pickup. You can let your things get made, once they're ready for pickup, and then go to your follower board here, and then assign a follower afterwards, and it'll double your the outcome. I'm pretty sure you don't need to have them there the entire duration of the work order, just when you're picking them up. It's a bit of a, oversight, on Blizzard's part. I'm pretty sure that's how it still works. One of our guildies mentioned it. Somebody else can confirm if needed. But yeah, I mean, I can take her off right now, and then when I need to go pick up, I can go put her in there. And I'll get double the resources from all those work orders. And I mean, in the meantime, I can send her off on a mission. More missions here. Come on. Sorry, guys. My guys just... my good little minions. Okay. Again, I got crates of salvage there. Salvage crates are great because they give you little pieces to upgrade your followers even further. Yeah, Tal'Doror here is correct. Hey, dancing with theirs. It only checks on the pickup. So, you don't need your followers in your buildings unless you guys are going to go pick up your stuff. And there's a couple of little exceptions there with an herbalist. If I have an herbalist assigned, I can choose what to plant. So with, what's her face here? I have an herbalist assigned here somewhere, but she allows me to plant, you know, whatever I want. Except I don't have an herbalist assigned right now. But yeah, I can plant whatever I want with that herbalist there. Okay, good. So moving on. Now, we talked about crafted gear, bought gear, auction house gear. The next thing you guys can do is garrison invasions. Again, garrison invasions are really awesome. I haven't done any yet. I'll probably make a group later on to farm them. Now, in beta, they were already there. They were ready to go, garrison invasions, and we thought they would be like a weekly quest. Well, turns out you need to farm stuff. So, there are 6 different types of garrison invasions. Garrison invasions are a lot of fun. You know, there's these enemies, they invade your base, you gotta defend your base, and it's awesome. You know, they spawn portals, or they're killing your villagers, you gotta save them. There's little mini objectives in your garrison to save your garrison from, you know, from total being destroyed. But it doesn't get destroyed. Now, garrison evasions do reward a 645 piece, like a 645 weapon, for example. They're awesome, they're a lot of fun. The way to spawn them out of one of 6 invasions is you need to go kill stuff. Basically, if I want to get a Shadow Moon invasion, for example, or have orcs attack, I need to go here to Sokothar's Rest and start farming the crap out of these. Eventually, you'll piss them off enough that they start attacking your base, and you'll get a quest in your garrison. Now, another one here, in Tal'Dor. In Shatrath, for example, if I farm these things, I get the Shadow Council invasion. If I go to Gorkrund and I go kill stuff in Everbloom Wilds, well then I get the Everbloom invasion, which is plants attacking my city. You know, defend against plants. So, garrison invasions are a lot of fun. You should farm them with a group. You also get a lot of reputation out of them. The reputation is quite valuable for getting, you know, really good followers or other really cool stuff. And then eventually, if you have 3, I believe it's Exalted reps, you're able to get the level 3 trading post, which is alright. I mean, it's not needed. Level 2 trading post is really good. So, garrison invasions are another way to get geared up. And then what else? Molten Core we talked about. Okay, and one of the last things, or last ways to get geared up is through challenge modes. Challenge modes are, I mean, for the average raider, I mean, the average Joe like you guys, they are quite challenging. Once you get enough gear, you know, I mean, heroic dungeons are a face roll. Like, you totally just steamroll through them. You don't bother CCing anymore. They're like old, you know, Mists of Pandaria or Wrath of Lich King dungeons. You just, you know, go right through them. Challenge modes are a whole different ball game here. Now, excluding those cheaters out there, you know, those cheaters that, for example, you can use a miner's coffee outside of your garrison and it'll work. Only works in garrison mines. It actually works everywhere. I guess maybe they fixed it there. Oh, maybe they do hotfix it. Apparently this stuff was working, you know, in every other zone, and people were using it non-stop, especially in challenge modes. And, you know, whatever. Okay, cheaters aside. Challenge modes are awesome. They're a lot of fun. They're like heroic raiding. If you have a really solid group of great tank, great healer, solid DPS with heroism, good crowd control, I mean, ideally good crowd control, they make challenge modes a lot easier. Now, for the challenge mode daily, and what is it today? Who remembers? I'm going to go fly over to the... Actually, I'm going to go teleport to the challenge mode here. Let's see what it is. Oh, really? What is it? Uberes? Oh, fuck me. I mean, F me. Sorry. So, apparently it's UBRS, which is going to be not fun.
Super fun. Super
fun time. Now, some challenge modes are easier than others. Iron Docks, Everbloom, I thought were super easy. Skyreach, I thought was, you know, a real bitch to do. Partly because we were under geared. Now, when you guys are doing challenge modes, they scale down to 630. They do not scale up to 630. So my very first challenge mode, which was Skyreach, I'm a bit of an undergeared paladin. I was running, what, like 622 or something like that? That's not bad for a healer. Not bad at all. My DPS was, what, Driaz was like 613. Tank was like 615. We were quite undergeared for the challenge mode. If you have high-level gear like my my ring here, it scales it down to 630. But if you have, 615 pieces, it does not scale them up to 630. You are undergeared. So the best suggestion I can give for you guys is make sure you guys are really well geared before you do that challenge mode, because it'll scale everything down to 630. My gear is all above 630 now, or 630 itself. It will not scale anything. I mean, well, it's not, nothing's under 630 anyway. So I'll be fine for the most part. Some healers are really good. Resto Druids, Priest Shamans are really great healers for challenge mode. Some healers are really garbage. Paladins, I think, are super weak. I'll be spending Flash of Light, my highest HPS abilities the entire time, and the tank's HP will not move. It'll stay at 50% the entire time, because they're getting hit by like a truck. Some tanks are really easy to heal. Death Knights, for example, are a dream to heal. Monks are made of paper. It depends on your group, it depends on your composition, but challenge modes are a lot of fun. Now, yeah, Hubris, challenge mode. Keegan, I haven't done them yet tonight, so I don't know if I'm going to get around to doing the Upper Deck Expired.
We need to do it. We missed it the past couple days, babe.
I just missed 1 day of challenge modes.
We missed 2.
I missed 1 day, I'm pretty sure.
You
Just
did one
Skyreach.
yesterday?
I can't remember.
No, you didn't.
Just listen. Shh. So, now, what I do recommend for challenge modes, Cody here, Hunterman, those are 2 of my subs. They're pugging challenge modes. They're pugging, like, who does that?
Crazy.
Apparently they got him successfully, but again, those of you looking to do challenge modes, you guys are geared up enough, you guys are ready to go. Do them as a stream. Again, your battle tags are there on the forums. Post them, as subs, as viewers. I don't care. Like, if you need a tank for a dungeon or a healer for a dungeon, why would you guys want to pug stuff? Why wouldn't you want to play with like-minded people? Think of this as our big stream guild. You guys are running guild challenge modes now. None of this, like, pugging crap. I've done challenge modes with my viewers as well. With the Azermat, a DK. Super easy. We got them on voice communication. You guys can use our TeamSpeak if you want. Do them. Please, I highly encourage you guys to do those challenge modes. Even as a group, don't do them alone. It totally sucks to do.